Okay, this video is my magic bathroom, and this is just something I came up with because I was always really busy and I wanted to have more time to read, more time to study. And so I figured out I might as well use the bathroom. I go into the bathroom so much more. I counted it one time. It was an amazing number of times you go into the bathroom every day to rinse your hands and do whatever else you do. So this particular picture is from my old house when I was studying for my neuroradiology boards. And I would put pictures of all this neuroanatomy, tape it all over the walls, different diseases, different anatomical areas, CTs, MRIs, everything. And then I'd also put pictures of people who I admired. Like I got a picture of Caldwell Esselstyn up there on my bathroom at this house. I admired, the great writer Victor Hugo, some of the great Greek playwrights, Rodney Dangerfield, the comedian. I actually memorized all his routines verbatim, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay, so this is it. It's this table by the loo there is a portable. You just move it with your foot. So I'd always read a paperback during a number one. I'd have a textbook on here during a number two. I got these ideas from things like I saw Mozart. He would write, I think it only fitting to write while shitting. And I thought, well, gee, I think it only fitting to read. I'll put a book in there. I can have a table in there. And I also had the idea, I heard the Monty Python skit, every sperm is sacred. And I thought to myself, every void is sacred. Every time I void, I'll read a paperback. And I read an extraordinary amount just from doing this. As easy as it is, I read at least one book cover to cover every week. I don't let myself go into the bathroom without coming out of there reading at least one page. I quite often read a couple pages when I'm in there. So I'm always chipping away at getting more reading done. This is at one of my other houses, my new house. I got another little portable table in here. I got the Foxcatcher book by Mark Schultz, the wrestler there. Typical textbook down the table there. There's nothing else to do. When textbooks are often relatively boring, but when you're, on the loo, there's nothing else to do. That becomes entertainment, and you can just challenge yourself to get through it. And I'll often perhaps sit there longer than I should, but I'll get through some pages on it. And I've gone through a lot of textbooks that way. I also found that good for studying languages. I would do sometimes when I was interested in studying languages, I would study language flashcards in there. I got this little translator in there. So then again, more heroes and other things on there. When I was interested in studying language, I would have the verb conjugations on the wall. Cosimo Medici on there was one of my heroes. I'm not studying for any boards exams lately, but when I would sometimes use these Lightner boxes. Lightner boxes are a spaced interval repetition system for looking at flashcards, whereby, kind of like Anki, whereby you look at the picture, and if you immediately know it instantaneously, you advance it to the next box, likewise next time, and so on to the completion box. Whereas if it's challenging and you hesitate on it, that means you don't automatically know it. It's not sort of deep into your subconscious mind. Then you leave it in the first box. The point being that you spend more time with the difficult stuff. It takes more time for the difficult stuff to get to the completion box, okay? And I have my laundry stuff in there too. So all this stuff really works. A lot of people tell me, oh, you don't need to do this. What are you doing? Stuff. And like I'm saying, I know what it takes to, be first in the class in a medical school and in the most possibly competitive academic environments. These things work, okay? That's why I do them. Okay, so what else am I showing you here? This is... Also, a lot of times I would just pick up the book and start walking. You need a study break from reading and sitting down. Or let's say I'm getting a little tired sitting down and reading. I just get up and I start walking. I notice that if I start walking, the brain's designed to be alert when it walks, and you're out in the forest, there could be danger. You got to pay attention. So that's a great way to perk yourself up when you walk. The other thing I noticed is just talking to a woman perks me up. The other day I was post-call, so I was kind of tired. And I didn't get enough sleep because I worked out after I'd been on call. I lifted weights, and so I was short on sleep, and I was almost finding myself falling asleep trying to get my work done. And then this pretty lady doctor came by and had to ask me some questions. I talked to her, and it was just routine transactional conversation, but it's weird. As soon as I talked to her, I was all of a sudden energized. I didn't feel sleepy at all the rest of the day. It's kind of funny, but women have more of an effect on men. We like women more than they like us. And it's interesting how they, just being around them energizes us. Okay, this is the slide. I already did this thing, basically. Let's see here. Oh, this is another thing, too. It's really good to have pictures of role models on your wall. Here's Dave Schultz, world and Olympic champion, my coach at Stanford, and his brother Mark Schultz. Here's another one of the wrestlers on the team, All-American NCAA champ. I used to wrestle with these guys in practice, so I got my butt kicked a lot, but it made me much better wrestler, and also it gave me incredible intensity for everything else. I mean, I was so motivated. I hear all these people say they're not motivated. I'm like, what are you talking about? I always wanted more time in the day because I had so much I wanted to do. Anyways, here's the point I would say is we used to keep pictures of our heroes on the walls in all the wrestlers' rooms. We'd have the Schultz brothers on top, and then the other, famous wrestlers or guys from the team. And, if you care about something, you want to see it every day. You want to be thinking about it. And you get a lot better if you're around people who are good at what you do. You don't just learn from, it's good to read about them, watch their videos, but the more you could be around people and think the way they do, that are sort of like the champions of your field, the better you get. As soon as I started hanging around with Mark Schultz, I just got so much better, so much faster. Okay, so here's a picture of Mark Schultz. I have a picture of him in my bathroom too. All right, let me get this right here. I'm kind of grab this picture there. So, because I know that that really inspired me. You got to be inspired to generate energy. And I like lifting weights. So I have heroes, my weightlifter heroes like Tom Platz with all his squats. I think this was Paul Anderson. He was sort of a great heroic guy. And I also have pictures of beautiful art. I like having pictures of beautiful art on my wall too. Sorry, there was a mosquito or something there. All right. Here I have pictures of some of my favorite writers on the wall because I always envisioned myself as more of a writer. I started doing YouTube because nobody reads books. And a lot more people will watch a video, but I love the great writers like Jonathan Swift, great Irish writer. Victor Hugo, Les Miserables is just a masterpiece. Notre Dame's a masterpiece. Charles Dickens, Christmas Carol is the greatest novel ever written. Goethe was sort of like the Shakespeare of Germany. Other writers here, Fyodor Dostoevsky, Brothers Karamazov is one of the all-time top 3 novels of all time. Yeats was a great Irish writer. And I'll have pictures of the beautiful cathedrals and the paintings and all that stuff. Because if you want to become great at something, you want to sort of immerse yourself in the great works of art from others, okay? They will inspire you. You'll sort of say to yourself, look, they did all these things. Why can't I at least, finish my book? Why can't I at least, make a good video or something, okay? And so that's another reason why I love Christianity, because, man, it produces the best art. All the stuff about multicultural, all cultures equals, that's BS, okay? No one else produces this beautiful art. Show me examples, okay? No one else produces this magnificent art. No one else has produced this magnificent literature except Christian authors and painters, okay? So that's why I admire them. That's why I got their pictures on the wall in my bathroom, because I want to be great like them. Okay, here's a picture. I got a picture of Ruth Heidrich in there because I remember her. I admire her, that lady. She's like, every day I get up and I do my workout. And I'm like, man, here's this older lady, survived metastatic breast cancer. She's working out every day. If I don't, do some type of significant exercise every day, I'm a wimp. So just seeing her picture every day inspires me. She's great. So I also admire Oscar Wilde. Obviously he screwed up and he sort of ruined his own life in the end, but I admire him so much. The Irish guy goes to England and becomes the best writer in the world of his time. Pretty amazing, so I'll give him credit for that. And he was very funny and clever. And I got all these other heroic persons down. I got a picture of Dennis Birkin on my wall. I admired him, Irish Christian missionary going to doing all the things that he did. Augustus Welby Pugin, the great architect of the Victorian Renaissance, designing all the cathedrals, magnificent. I always have a picture of Michelangelo, Sistine Chapel. I'm like, wow, if that guy could do that, why can't I do more? So when I see the great things they did, it always motivates. Michelangelo's Pietà, okay, Cardinal John Henry Newman, all this stuff. It just energizes me to see it. That's one of the secrets. People who know me, they're amazed at how much energy I have to do work. And the reason is I'm always comparing myself to these great people who did all these great things, and I'm like, man, you get your butt in gear. You look what they did. Why can't you do more? I don't know. It just works. Okay, I have a Celtic cross in my bathroom, and that inspires me. Whenever I'm going to do high repetition squats, I always pray with, please let me concentrate. Please let me stay in good form all the way through, because squatting, when you squat high repetition, man, it's like, Tom Platz said, you go to hell and back when you squat high reps. You have to maintain that discipline. I like doing it. It's like running cross country, that same attitude of gratitude, and you push and you have to be intense. That's really good for achievement. Let's see, what else? Great art here, some of the great writers and some of the great saints. They all motivate me to try to work harder, and I like that. I have an audio CD player next to the bathroom, and I'll listen to that sometimes. I don't do that so much anymore. A lot of times I'll watch a YouTube video while I'm flossing my teeth or something. I used to listen to audiobooks. sometimes. So anyway, sometimes it's good to have it there. You can't put it in the bathroom because it will get wet or it wouldn't work. But it's good having it there. So anyways, these are some things I found helpful because I know most people. I talk to lots of people. They always tell me they don't have any time to read. They don't have any time to read, and I think that's absolutely ridiculous because I always listen to an audiobook in the car, and I usually get through at least one audiobook every week just listening to it in the car. And then I always read in the bathroom. I always get through at least one book here. So if I didn't do anything else, I would always read, 52 weeks a year, 104 books just that way, let alone other reading that I do. So it's very easy to read over 100 books a year if you just have your bathroom set up like this and you always listen to a book in the car. It's easy. It's just like automatic. So anyways, this has helped me a lot in my academics and in my just self-education, which is valuable to me. So maybe it'll help you.